Hey all you cool cats and kittens, it's Carol at Big Cat Rescue, and with Hurricane Dorian bearing down on Florida, I thought you guys might want to hear from our operations managers what we do to prepare for hurricanes. This is all on our website in a lot more detail than you probably want to read through. I'll put links at the bottom of this, but for now, here's the update on what we're going to do this week because of Hurricane Dorian.
We've been watching the storm, so we're well aware of what the predictions are. We are looking at where it's going to go and how strong it's going to be, but we're looking at putting away anything that can blow around, all of our typical preparations. We have plenty of water. We've been stockpiling water this summer. We're getting a fuel delivery on Friday, so we have fuel for generators. All that kind of stuff's being taken care of so that we can prepare. We also are going to put the cats in their roof sections. They definitely have weathered out many storms, and so we're not worried about them weathering out another storm. If it's raining, we can still feed the cats in the rain. A lot of them will come out in the rain for food. We may make different food choices. We may not use as much of the carnivore diet, or the mush as we call it, because that's a little messier in the rain, but we can definitely get all the cats fed. We are pretty adept with long sticks. If they're in their den, we can at least get them a couple pieces. You know, these guys are wild cats. We forget because, you know, we feed them like they're our house cats, but they can go a couple of days without food or a lighter diet. So we will make sure everybody gets their meds and everybody gets fed, but we can definitely adjust for it being stormy or rainy. So we were talking about cats in cages and cats in their roof sections and feeding cats in the rain and all that kind of stuff.
Still cleaning cats in the rain.
Still cleaning cats in the rain, all that kind of stuff.
Do volunteers still come out during hurricanes to help the cats?
We do. It's a mixed bag because some of them have houses that they're trying to prepare their houses for the hurricane, but a lot of the volunteers will at least come over a couple hours and help us out.
Especially the ones that live closer to the sanctuary.
Most of the volunteers will come out and help. And we have interns on property that definitely pull a lot of weight during
staff
hurricanes.
that lives very close.
Lots of staff that lives on or near property.
That either walk here or...
So when the wind gets to a certain point, typically 20 to 30 miles an hour, depending on what kind of storm it is, that's typically when we go ahead and put everybody in their roof sections. Yes, we definitely don't want to be rushing around in a storm trying to close them in.
No,
so we will, if we know a storm is coming, then we're definitely going to lock them in ahead of time. And we'll probably do so on Sunday. Anyway, just to make sure that everybody's where they need to be, because we don't know how much rain we're going to get ahead of time or how much wind we're going to get ahead of time. So we buy our meat in bulk anyway, and so we have a freezer full of food. I mean, we may run out of one or two of the specialty things, but we're not going to run out of food. We have plenty of food for the cats to get fed. We keep probably about 3,000 pounds of food at any given time in our freezer. So we have plenty of meat in the freezer. We also have generators that kick on automatically when the power goes out. So the freezers and the refrigerator and food prep stays on even when we don't have power. That's all set up already. So we will definitely be fine on both of those for food. On the list right now is to make sure all the ditches are dug out and make sure all the waterways that we have set up to get water out of the cages and into the lake is pretty much where everything drains. We're cleaning out all the ditches and everything to make sure that the water can get away quickly. We're not locking any cats up this far ahead of time, so we probably won't do that until Sunday. But I actually, I looked at our fuel yesterday and called to make sure that we had plenty of fuel. We have half a tank because we have a big fuel tank up front that we pull gas out of for the generators and lawnmowers and all kinds of things. But I noticed yesterday that that was at a half a tank, so we're calling to have that topped off. We actually get our Pepsi delivery on Friday. I ordered extra bottled water, things like that we're already doing.
And then we've also, since we've been working on cages, we've been building up some of the cages that we know flood, like Perfection. It got built up so that she has dry space to maneuver around her cage.
Perfection actually loves to stay out in the rain, and she will get on her platform, which has a little bit of cover to it, and she'll stay out during an entire storm. And we don't want her to do that. She's a rainforest cat. And that's her favorite place to be.
Yeah.
And so, but we don't want her to get caught up there and her not realize that this rain is going to be different. So we will probably, when we lock the cats in their roof sections, we'll probably move her over to a spot where she has a drier area and she won't get caught out on her platform.
Sandbags?
No, we actually have plenty of sandbags, and we are going to have to use those probably around the old gift shop is one of our lower spots where it can flood. Food prep is actually pretty good. It weathered Irma very well. And then actually Victor and Jamie fixed the flooding that we were having in the porch of the of food prep, and that's now fixed. So,
Oh, good.
Yeah, so we don't even have to sandbag that. But we will definitely utilize the sandbags that we have. Something that we always need and that I always think about during these is for after the storm, we will need like flashlights and batteries and stuff like that if we go without power for an extended period of time. I live on property.
I'll be here. I still have work to do.
Afton will probably bunk in and be on property. The interns live on property. Elisa lives on property. So there are lots of people on property during the storm. When you have flat paneled cages, the wind can blow against that flat panel and it can come down. And so the curve in the cages is actually what gives them a lot of stability.
Which is why when all the other places get knocked down, we still are.
And the wind goes
standing.
right through it too. With
Yeah.
Being that we use rebar for enclosures.
Right. They all have concrete dens or plastic dens that they can get in to get out of the rain.
Know
And
where
we've
it's going.
definitely weathered Category 3, Category 2 storms before. I mean, this is not our first Category 3 hurricane. I mean, I remember the year we had, like 4 of them come through in one year. So, like, the cages have withstood storms previously, and so have all the buildings and everything. So, this is not our first hurricane here.